Hello everyone, I know this video is super early, but that's because it's an extra video in celebration of 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so happy to have reached such a huge number, really. I didn't expect to reach it this fast because I also didn't expect to make a video this soon. So I don't have a microphone that is good quality, and I hope you guys don't really mind too much. I actually didn't expect to make a video this soon, but for some reason I got super motivated and I was really excited to draw, so I made this drawing. And in this video I will be drawing as I'm doing right now, as you can see right now, and I will be answering the questions that you guys asked me on different websites as a Q&A video. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for subscribing, thank you for staying with me for so long, and I will just get into the questions right now. So the first question that I received is from Hannah Hill on Facebook, and she asked me what inspires you and where are you from? To answer the second question first, I am from the Netherlands, and that's why my English is not that good, and that's what my accent is like. Anyway, I do enjoy living here a lot. I'm 100% Dutch, I look typically Dutch, I have blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm from the Netherlands, yes. What inspires me is mostly art of others and you know, just very much daily situations, but the art of others is definitely what inspires me the most, because always it has been my ultimate goal, you know, wanting to be able to draw as well as those people from whatever. At first it was mostly which was my favorite comic, and that really started my, you know, actual inspiration for drawing. I have so much problems answering questions like this. I'm very sorry if I sometimes don't answer very clearly, or if I'm having trouble with finding the right words, but anyway, yeah, that's about what inspires me the most. Another question is from Tiny Tina on PG World, and she asked me, how did you come up with your art style and what inspired you to draw like that? What inspired me to draw like this is what I already kind of answered, and how I came up with my art style. You know, a lot of people have been worrying about finding their style and how to form a distinct drawing style, a unique drawing style, etc. But I think, and I feel like everyone has a drawing style to begin with, you know. It starts out even when you just start drawing. When you have no real passion for drawing in the end anyway, you always have your own style. And this can be influenced by other people's styles and what your personal preferences, you know, and your personal development rate on different levels, you know. For example, my coloring developed way faster than my proportions and anatomy. Anyway, my style has just been influenced along the time that I've been drawing, and it just started at some point and a bunch of other artists influenced it. I just tried to find my own style, not so much, you know. It was just there already, and I never felt the need to find an art style that much, because I think it bothers people too much anyway. It will come to you, and you will be able to comfortably draw whatever you want. Another person asked me how old I am. I am 18 years old, but I'm turning 19 in exactly 3 months and 1 day. Lightwind asked me how I found my coloring style and what tool I use to blend colors. Yeah, really, how I found my coloring style is just the same as how I found my style, but I also watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube and on DeviantArt. There were some tutorials made by other people on specific things like how to paint water, skies, skin, and that kind of stuff. Meshing the things that I learned from these tutorials and my own style together, this is what came from it. The tool I use for blending colors, as you may have seen in my videos before, is mainly the water tool. I also use a blur tool, but the water tool is more like a paintbrush which you can actually blend the colors with, because the blur tool is too soft and it doesn't create much texture, and I prefer to use the water tool for that. Another question that I receive is, do you draw to make others happy or draw to make yourself happy? And I feel like I hear that a lot of artists struggle with this because at some point they start to become bored of art, and they just draw in order to keep people happy, their followers, their family, the people who expect them to draw well and like their drawings. I like to say that at first I really enjoyed drawing, just to begin with, you know. I really enjoyed drawing just because it was calming to me, because I could always do it, because my imagination was huge, and to put it on paper was a challenge and was a lot of fun. I didn't do that much when I was a kid. I never go out anyway now, but doing kinds of things like this, you know, staying inside, reading a book or drawing, that kind of thing was always my thing, and I did it because it made me happy. Eventually, when I started joining communities, I started losing this, you know. I became more of a people pleaser when it came to my art, and eventually the joy of drawing came back again, you know, after beating several art blocks of where I thought, no, I'm just going to give up, I'm going to quit, it's not fun anymore. But eventually it became more fun, and now I just really draw because I enjoy it, because it calms me down, because those kind of things. Yeah, it started out being a joy for me alone, and then it became a thing for others, and now it's a joy for me. But I also draw because I really enjoy engaging in communities, and I draw to make others happy because I draw gifts for them and that kind of stuff. So it's really a bit of both right now. Katara Kora Wev on Pagey World asked me, what are your favorite tools to use when you don't draw digital art? And I use a bunch of different tools for traditional art. I use Copic markers and watercolors most for coloring, and I use pastel, soft pastels, and coloring pencils on top of that. But I also really enjoy sketching in ballpoint pen, and I think I gotta list that as my favorite because ballpoint is, I don't know, it just feels really nice to sketch with it. It's really cool, and it has a high contrast usually to the paper. I don't know, it just sketches really nicely, and I think it's one of my favorite tools to draw with on paper or whatever I'm drawing on. Forbidden Girl 15 asked me what my favorite OC is, and my favorite OC would probably be my Utao Mitch, because I've had him for a quite long time, and he's my Utao, so I can make him sing, and I'm really content with his voice, and I don't know, I kind of got attached to him very much. But from my non-Utao OCs, it's probably going to be Christopher, because I think he is the most unique of my OCs, and he's actually the oldest OC that I have. I think he's about 4 years old right now, and I think he's still really a unique character, and I'm really happy with him. He's just weird but cute at the same time, so I'm really, really happy with him. Yeah, he's my favorite OC, I think. Brianna May asked me, when did you start drawing? I actually started drawing when I could hold a pencil, because I still have drawings from when I was 2 or 3 years old. I actually won a contest when I was 2 years old by just drawing circles on paper, which later were described as Easter eggs by my mother, and I won. It was a tape with a movie on it with a clown and an acrobat. It's a really popular film in the Netherlands. I won that when I was 2 years old. I don't know if I still have that drawing, but I still have drawings from when I was really old. I found them a little while ago, and I drew a bird and Ernie, and I don't know what else I drew, but it was funny. I could actually see what I was trying to do with it, but it were just really sloppy lines, and it was funny to see. But when I started drawing seriously was about 12 or 13 years old. I did an improvement meme a while back, and the first drawing of that one was actually one of my first more serious drawings. Another question is, what kind of tablet do I use? And as you may have seen in a lot of my videos, is that I use Cintiq Companion by Wacom, and I've been using Wacom tablets forever, and someone else asked me where is a good place to buy drawing tablets. I always recommend buying a Wacom tablet because they have the best technology. They are just, the prices are nice. If you just start out, you have to buy a small one, obviously, because yeah, you don't want to waste a lot of money on buying a huge tablet if you're not going to do much with it. Anyway, Wacom is definitely the best tablet producer that I know. They have a website on which you can order new products, but you can also buy used products that they cleaned up and ship back to you with warranty from the, how is that called, factory. So I really recommend getting your tablets from that website and looking for used tablets as well, because it can save you a lot of money. And I've been using their tablets for a long time with a lot of fun. You know, I've had a Wacom Folito and an Intuos and now a Cintiq, and I'm really happy with them. Tui asked me, what keeps you drawing? Do you ever get put off? And definitely, I get these art blocks that every single artist can probably relate to. But what keeps me drawing is that I simply get the urge to put something on paper again, or just draw and paint, you know, just have that feeling. It's just a really specific mindset that you get into, because it's very calming to do, and yet it's very productive. I just get the urge to draw, especially when I look at other people's art. I know a lot of people say that it demotivates them when they see good art, but it actually really motivates me to get better. So I guess that's what keeps me drawing. Nega Monster asked me, where did you learn your drawing techniques from, or if you self-taught, how did you figure out new techniques? I think all artists are technically self-taught, because you start drawing yourself and you start improving yourself, and when you are trying to get more even better, you know, you start going to art school or going to certain places in order to get better, going to an art club or whatever. But in the end, all artists are self-taught. They start on their own most of the time. What did help me is that I actually got a few classes in school, like drawing classes, but it wasn't really good. It wasn't very interesting information. It was all really basic, and I never really used much of it. The few things that I did use were like color knowledge, things like warm colors pop out more and cold colors go into the background, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't too much, you know. It wasn't much that I still use. What helped me a lot though is still, again, looking up tutorials online, on YouTube and on DeviantArt, and multiple other websites have good tutorials where you can learn a lot from. What's your favorite anime? It was a question by RayCookie228 on PG World, and my favorite anime has gotta be Tiger and Bunny, because it's so funny and it's just, okay, it has a really good balance between funny and exciting and dramatic. I don't know, it's just a really good story, and I'm very much a person that likes character development and character interaction rather than a big story, you know. I don't need big titans attacking walls, you know. I'm really into subtle relationships between people and the development of people's relationships and characters. So that's why it was a really fun anime for me to watch. I really recommend it. It's not too long, actually. The characters are super funny, and I actually almost cried at one episode, so you should definitely go watch it. Okay, Kids Crackers Galore on PG World asked me, would you rather draw a chibi or anime? That's a really difficult question to ask, because I draw lots of chibis and normal sized people. I wouldn't really call it anime because my style is pretty much influenced by, you know, a ton of other styles as well. But I guess I enjoy both a lot. It just depends on what my mood is, you know. My hands usually itch to start drawing, and when I get this urge to draw, I already know what I want to draw. So if I'm really into drawing something cutesy, I want to draw a chibi rather than doing a full-sized body. Okay, multiple people ask me this question, and it's not really related to my art, but it's still related to me, so I'm going to answer it anyway because you guys seem to be interested in it. Anyway, the question was, where did you meet and how did you meet Purple? And this is actually quite a fun story because, well, it's not really a fun story, it's actually a fun story on how we started dating. But we met through a mutual friend of ours because I went to school with her and she went to Japanese class in a different city, and to this Japanese class Purple went as well. So yeah, she actually speaks quite good Japanese, like basic Japanese, but it's still impressive. Anyway, she introduced us to each other online because we both drew. She actually sent Nikki my DeviantArt and Nikki contacted me on there. And the main reason for this is that we actually went to a cosplay meeting in a theme park in the Netherlands that year, a few months later. So we wanted to know each other before we met each other right there. And we met there. She was cosplaying Luca from Vocaloid and I was cosplaying Bin without a wig, and it was terrible, but we had so much fun, and I actually gave her a kiss on the cheek that day for some reason. But we didn't start dating until years later. We were actually close friends before that all happened. But yeah, much later we became a couple. Josie Chen asked me the question what my favorite music and movies are. Hello Josie, thank you for your question. Anyway, my favorite music, I listen to a lot of music really. I switch constantly. I really used to like some cool bands, you know, in my emo period. I really enjoyed listening to Green Day, Paramore, and bands like that. But nowadays I listen to a really wide range of music. I really like listening to Hachi with Nikki, but it's not really a thing that I'm a huge fan of. I'm a fan of Owl City because Adam is really cool. He's funny. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Owl City, and I listen to a bunch of Vocaloid music as well. It just depends on my mood, really. My favorite movies are... I really enjoyed Paprika, an anime movie. I did have to watch it twice in order to understand everything, but it was still very amusing to watch. I also enjoyed Inception, which Paprika was the inspiration for, so that's why I probably enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed Shutter Island, same actor. I still think he deserves an Oscar. It was a good movie, yeah. Another question is how many languages I can speak. I can speak English, obviously, and I can speak Dutch, which is my first language, and you know, I can understand a bit of French, but I can't speak it very well, and I can understand most German, but I can't speak it very well either. But I speak 2 languages fluently. Another question is, how do I come up with a pose and who is your inspiration? How I come up with poses is really just sketching and trying different things, but I also get a lot of inspiration from things like clothing magazines or websites of clothing stores and those model photos. I actually use those often for practicing drawing poses really quickly, and I really recommend that if you want to improve your proportions and poses a lot. And who is my inspiration? I have a couple of inspirations. Number 1 would be HamletMachine because Number 1 would be HamletMachine because her art is absolutely gorgeous and her style is super cool, and I do not recommend looking up all of her art. if you're a little bit young, but you can go to her DeviantArt, where she has most of her more suited art on, and she's really cool. And I met her at a convention a while ago, and she was really nice, and it was a lot of fun to meet her. So yeah, HamletMachine. I also look up to Kubo-Isako on DeviantArt a lot. She's not very popular, but I found her a while ago on accident, and I've been following her ever since, and she makes really colorful art, and it's very typically anime, you know, but I think that she uses it in a way that's almost surreal, and I really like that about her style. I also look up to Loish a lot. She's also Dutch like me, and her art is just absolutely gorgeous. I think that you can see some of her art influencing mine, but you can see that with every artist that I get influenced by. I also look up to my friend Sekiru. She's also a moderator on Pagey World, where I'm a moderator on, and she's just really good, and she has a really cool style. I also look up to my girlfriend Nikki, Purple or Violet, as you might know her better. She is just really good. She's really good at character design and keeping these characters alive. I always draw a random character, and then I just throw them away, and she's just really good at expressions, proportions, and all that stuff, and I'm just sitting here like, I can draw the same face over and over again. But yeah, she's still a really big inspiration of mine, and I see her working constantly, so that's really a privilege. Anyway, this video is getting crazy long, and I hope you don't mind too much. I hope you enjoyed it, as always, and if you really enjoyed it, if you enjoyed me drawing or answering the questions, like this video, subscribe if you're new, comment if you have any ideas for future videos, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you, and goodbye.